Hello and welcome to this Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first question. Hello and welcome to this Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first question. Hello and welcome to this Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first question. Hello and welcome to this Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first question. Hello and welcome to this Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first question. Premier League debate here. We'll start with our first. There we go. Had a little technical difficulty. Premier League debate here. First question. We'll start with. Will Arsenal win the league? There we go. Had a little technical difficulty. I think Premier League debate here. Question. We'll 9-point gap. Arsenal win the league? There we go. Had a little technical difficulty. I think Premier League debate here. Question. 9-point gap. Arsenal win the league. There we go. Arsenal 7. I think Premier League West Ham do have a game in hand. 9-point gap. Arsenal win the league. There we go. Arsenal 7. I think Premier League West Ham do have a game in hand. Man City. Let's Arsenal Man City. Arsenal 7. I think Premier League West Ham do have a game in hand. Man City. Let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City. I think Premier League West Ham do have a game in hand. Man City. Let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City. I think Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. The next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. Next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. Next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. Next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. Next Man City, Man City, let's Arsenal Man City. Next Man City. Right, I've just found out that entire segment there was glitched. So we'll go back to this question here. So, first question was, will Arsenal win the league? I think that now they can't bottle the league at this point. They're 9 points clear, Man City second. They have got a game in hand and that is against Chelsea. But on the 22nd of March, we'll find out who the better team is in the Carabao Cup final. It's a trophy that really both teams want to win this trophy. It's a piece of silverware. It means that Arsenal could win the quadruple if they wanted. I think it's just impossible for Arsenal to bottle at this point. They finish second all the time, but I think it's impossible to bottle it from here. And do you think Gyökeres is better than Ekitike? Are we talking this year or this season? Because this year, it's Gyökeres by a mile. But this season, Ekitike clears Gyökeres. Because this season, Gyökeres has managed to score. Scored 1 against Everton, 2 against Tottenham, 2 against Sunderland, scored 1 against Leeds, 1 against Kairat Almaty in the Champions League, 1 against Inter, 1 against Chelsea, and that's it this season. So, he scored most of his goals this year. He scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of his 11 goals this season have been in 2026. However, Ekitike, recently he hasn't been very good. But over the year, he scored the same amount as Gyökeres, but he's been more consistent. If you want to ask any debate questions, put it in chat. And here we have another question. Timber or Reece James? I mean, are we talking right back ability or footballing ability? Because if we're talking, I know it's going to sound a little bit stupid, but if we're talking right back, then I think it's Timber. Because this season, under Rosenior, he's been playing Reece James in midfield. But then Timber has been immense this season for Arsenal in right back. So I think overall, as a player, probably working towards that England call-up, I'm going to go Reece James. Just realised we're had a bit of a technical difficulty there. Where will Sunderland finish? I think they're 13th in the league now. They're dropping points far too much. They got beat off Brighton, got beat in the FA Cup at Port Vale. But they did beat Leeds away. And that is a huge result for Sunderland. But not so much for Leeds. I mean, they are 3 points clear of the drop. And that is a key talking point there. Who will get relegated? But I think coming the end of the season, Sunderland will finish about 11th. I mean, if they win the derby on the weekend and Brighton, Fulham and Bournemouth lose, then they will shoot up to 8th in the Premier League. And I think coming the end of the season, they'll get a couple of points here and there. They'll get a couple of key results for the rest of the season. I think they'll finish around 11th. Any debate questions, feel free to put in chat. Here we go. A massive question here. Is Diarra as good as we thought? I'm going to be honest. I don't like Diarra. I think for a club record signing, do you want to know his numbers this season? For £30.5 million, Habib Diarra has got 2 goals, 0 assists, 4 yellow cards. £31.5 million player, club record signing. And so far, I'm going to be honest, he's probably showed about £5 million of worth. He scored against Leeds away, scored the winner. It was a penalty, which honestly was one of the worst penalties I've ever seen in my life. He scored against Oxford in the Cup, and he scored one against Burnley. Probably should have scored two. His goal was like given as an own goal. But if someone said to me, how much do you think his performances this season dropping? I understand we had a bit of lag on the stream there, but we should be back to normal. Should Saka be replaced next season with his performances dropping this season? Well, I feel like if he wasn't homegrown Arsenal, if the Arsenal fans didn't love him so much, it's because he came through the academy, and he's only 24, I think he would have been replaced by now. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he should be, but he's not going to be. I think that's like a big factor in this. Because I feel he should, but he won't. Because this season, 27 appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists. And his market value is 124 million. I mean, how does that correspond? How do them numbers correspond with that market value? So, I do think that's like it should be replaced, but he won't. Okay, we have another question here. Will Wolves survive? Will they complete the Great Escape? I don't know if they will. I mean, the performances under Rob Edwards have been unbelievable, to be honest with you. But I feel like they're going to go down. I would love them to stay up. I think they're going to catch up Burnley. I don't think they're going to finish bottom. I think Burnley will finish bottom. I think Wolves will finish 19th. It's like they're going to have to win like every single game. And like the rest of the relegation, like scrap, it's going to have to lose if they want to stay up. I mean, I'd love them to stay up, but it's just not going to happen. They've got 17 points, Burnley have 20, and West Ham and Forest and Tottenham have 29 and 30. Is Chelsea's season finished? I mean, I don't think it was ever really on, to be honest. I feel the loss to Chelsea, the loss to PSG, the loss to Newcastle, the loss to PSG, and it's like, it was never really on. I mean, under Brian Mourinho, they've been okay, but they're going to struggle, they're going to really struggle for top 4. I feel like they might get Europa League or Conference League, but it's like they're going to have to get really, really lucky if they want to get Champions League. This is a juicy one. Will Tottenham go down? I mean, I think they might. I feel like if they do, it's going to break the Premier League, to be honest with you. Because the quality they've got. I mean, I think people would love to see them go down. Because, like, under Igor Tudor, I don't really see them getting points. Like, if you look at the fixtures, they beat Atletico last night, fair play. But they still went out the Champions League, 7-5 in aggregate. They drew to Liverpool, 90th minute equaliser from Richarlison. And it's like, I don't know, to be honest. It could happen, but it couldn't. But I feel like they will. Because the fixtures are Forest at home, that's a huge game for the relegation. Sunderland away, Brighton home, Wolves away, Villa away, Leeds at home, Chelsea away, and Everton at home. Where do you see the points getting picked up there? For me, they might get a couple of points against Forest, Wolves, and Leeds. I think they will get relegated. I have another question. Is Bruno Fernandes one of, if not the best cam in the world? I think he's the best cam in the world by a mile, to be honest. I think just the way he plays football, if you know what I mean. It's like he scans the pitch, like he's like 5 seconds ahead of everyone else on the pitch. He's like, no one really knows how to defend him. He's in that, it's called zone 14. It's just that zone, just central outside the box. And he can shoot from there, he can pass from there, he scans everywhere. He's just unbelievable. Will Salah stay at Liverpool? I don't think the Liverpool fans want him to, surprisingly. But I think he will. I think he'll retire there. He'll either retire there or in Saudi. And I think he's more likely to retire there than at Saudi. We have another question here. Who will finish last? I think Burnley will finish last in the Premier League this season. Because I feel like they're not good enough, to be honest. They came up through the Championship by playing defensively. But you can't do that in the Premier League as a newly promoted side. They got a point against Bournemouth, lost to Everton. They got really unlucky to lose to Brentford 4-3. They drew to Chelsea, to be fair. They beat Palace. Drew to Tottenham, drew to Liverpool, but it's like the fixtures are Fulham, Brighton, Forest, Man City, Leeds, Villa, Arsenal, Wolves, and it's like I don't think they're gonna get any points from there. Any debate questions? Feel free to put in the chat. We have one here. Is Robin Roos one of the best keepers in the world? The Sunderland keeper. He has a second best save percentage in the league. And I think he is right up there, to be honest. Because you think, right now, I think he is. Because I think the only keeper better might be Dubravka for Burnley. You've got the high save percentage. You're doing really well for Burnley. And it's like, Courtois has been the best this season. Alisson's been in and out of injuries. Donnarumma's been a bit inconsistent for City this season. So I think Roos could be up there for one of the best keepers in the world. This season. Got another question. Who will be player of the season? I think in the end, Bruno Fernandes will be player of the season. I just think he will. It's like he's miles ahead of everyone else on the pitch. The way he the way he reads the game, like, is unlike anyone else. I feel like come the end of the season, I mean, he could beat the all-time assist record. I think he just needs like 2 more assists or something. Then he'll beat the record. Since he's already beat the Manchester United record assist count. Question here. Is Haaland a purple patch player? I feel like he's just, the way he plays, the way he plays the game, it's impossible to be consistent. If you know what I mean. It's like, the way he does things, like, the way he scores the goals, the way he plays, he's that player who plays on the last line and puts it in the back of the net. And if the wingers are making them chances or shooting more themselves, then it's impossible to be consistent. Question here, Saliba or Gabriel? I think it has to be Gabriel. Saliba is a decent centre-half, but I feel like Gabriel, I think he is the best in the world, Gabriel. It's just, he goes up for corners, he scores. Someone's trying to hit him on the counter-attack, he's there. Someone's trying to score, he's there to block the shot. He's everywhere. And I think he's the best centre-half on the planet right now. Is Henry the best Premier League player of all time? It's a tough one. Because you've got to think. You've got your Lampard for Chelsea. He was unbelievable from midfield. You got your Paul Scholes, just racking up assists all the time. You got David Beckham. You've got 2008 Ronaldo. You've got Rooney. And of course you've got Henry. Some of the players were unbelievable. Henry is up there. But I think it might be Rooney. Just the way he did things, like, he would just do everything. Like, he was the best at everything. He could score goals, he could make the chances, and every now and again he could score the spectacular goal that you all dream of. Any questions? Get involved in the chat. The race for Champions League this season is quite juicy. As in the Premier League, Villa, they were like second and third trying to compete to go up that Premier League table. And it's like, now they've dropped down to fourth. They've been really, really inconsistent. Liverpool are fifth, Chelsea are sixth. I mean, if Chelsea win, Liverpool lose, they're in the top four. I was really heating up in that Champions League race. But we also got a question in the chat here. Will Arsenal win the Premier League next season as well? I feel like you can't really ask these sort of questions because you don't know how the summer transfer window is going to play out. Because you've got to think, like, how will other teams recruit? Will Man City sign a crazy player? Like an Mbappe? To play a 4-4-2 with Haaland or something? Like something ridiculous like that. Because they've got the money to do it. Or will Arsenal go ridiculous or they'll lay a bit lower? So you can't really answer them questions. We have 2 questions here. We'll go this one first. Who is the worst Premier League player? So far, I think it's got to be Alexander Isak, to be honest. I mean, Alexander Isak, he's been absolutely dreadful for Liverpool. So, they signed him from, of course, Newcastle. He was unbelievable last season. Signed him for £145 million. Expecting him to be some sort of, like, Hail Mary up top. He would just score all the time. And do you know how many goals he scored this season? 2. He's been injured for most of the season. He's been absolutely dreadful. British record transfer fee. So far, he's been absolutely awful. And I don't think he's not going to revive it this season. He's going to have to do well next season if he wants to revive that. But now, Max Darman or Enga Moore? It's a tough one because I feel like Enga Moore, even though we know he's good, we know he's a creative spark in Liverpool, I might have to go Max Darman. He's just became the youngest Premier League goal scorer. It's not even about that. It's like, you've got to think, who gets a bit more game time, to be honest. I know it sounds ridiculous. Max Darman gets a bit more game time than Rio Enga Moore. Honestly, just doesn't trust him. And he just starts Cody Gakpo all of the time. So for that one, I'm going to have to go Max Darman because he's younger. He's a year younger. And I feel like he's the type of player that can get their team to the next level. While Enga Moore could do well. While you already know Max Darman is going to be an unbelievable player in the future. What is Frimpong's best position? I think that's an easy answer. I think it has to be right back. But it's like, to be honest, most of Liverpool signings haven't been good enough this season. For example, Frimpong. I mean, they brought him in from Leverkusen for 40 million. And he's done absolutely nought. And it's like, he can't play midfield. He has been playing midfield, subbed on, subbed out sort of thing. But I think if he gets trusted in that right back role, that's his best position. Who is your underdog for next season? My underdog for next season, I think that Crystal Palace could get like 7th. It's either Crystal Palace or I feel Brighton could do really, really well next season. Either Crystal Palace or Brighton are going to finish like 7th next season. And it's going to do really, really well. While we wait for the next question in the Europa League, it finished 5-1 Freiburg against Genk. Celta Vigo went through against Lyon 2-0. Forest beat Midtjylland 3-1 on pens. Bologna's 2-1 up against Roma. It's Villa 0, Lille 0. Betis 2, Panathinaikos 0. Porto 1, Stuttgart 0. We have a question. Will Max Darman and Rio Engamoa go to the World Cup with England? I'm going to be honest. I think they've got no chance of going to the World Cup. I think they're too young to go on. They're too young, and they've got some players of real quality, England, that can do well, that can take England further. I don't think Thomas Tuchel's really gonna trust a 16-year-old, 15-year-old to go and win him a game in the World Cup. Another question here: how many trophies will Arsenal win this year? I think 2, Prem and Carabao Cup. I think they are on for the quadruples on the cards. But I think they'll win the Prem, Carabao Cup and FA Cup. I think I just don't have that belief they're gonna win the Champions League. I feel like it's gonna be an Arsenal Real Madrid Champions League final and Real Madrid are gonna beat them. I don't know why people write off Real Madrid like people are saying. Man City's gonna batter Real Madrid. Man City's gonna batter Real Madrid. What was the score? Real Madrid battered them. Valverde hat-trick in the first leg. So I think Arsenal can win the domestic treble, but they can't go as far as the Champions League. Big question here. England squad is out tomorrow for the friendlies. Who do you think will be a new name? I mean, the previous England squad was, you had Jordan Pickford, you had Dan Burn, Guehi, James, Konsa, Lewis Skelly, Stones, Spence, Quansah, Byrne, Chalobah. You had Elliot Anderson, Jude Bellingham, Eze, Foden, Gibbs White, Henderson, Loftus-Cheek, O'Reilly, Rice, Rodgers, Scott, Wharton, Bowen, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, Saka and Watkins. And it's Loftus-Cheek has to be replaced because he's broken his jaw. Alex Scott, I don't think he can go. I think he's overrated, to be honest. And I think Jordan Henderson, I know he's a great player, but I think if England want to go far in the World Cup, they can't be trusting Jordan Pickford in the middle of the park. So, I think the goalkeepers will stay the same. I think the back line will stay the same. I think John Stones has to go. You can say in chat now, John Stones has to go, surely. If he's fit, he has to go. If he's not fit, he doesn't gotta go. If you know what I mean. Well, of course, of Elliot Anderson, you've got to think. You've got to go to a foreign league if you want to get a decent English centre mid. I don't even know, to be honest. Tell us in chat who you think will go to the England squad. I don't really know. So I feel like this is one of the most solid England teams I've seen in a while. Just in every position you've got a solid player. Is Cole Palmer a one-season wonder? I think definitely he is. I think he's definitely a one-season wonder. So, he just tore it up in 2024. Yeah, you've got to look at this, Cole Palmer's stats this season. They've just been nowhere near, really. 19 appearances, 9 goals. And going on as if he's, one of the best players of all time. I mean, he's only 23. He still can do well. He reminds me of Phil Foden a little bit. does really well one season, is a bit inconsistent the next, and then he'll explode again at some point. And then Kyle Walker retiring from international football as well. I feel like, yeah, he's retired, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference, because I don't think he was going to get called up anyway. Because he plays for Burnley now. And when I watched him at the Stadium of Light, it's like, he wasn't very good. He was quite lazy, to be honest. I feel like he's finished now. He's like 36 now, 35, Kyle Walker. He can't really run. I think he's finished. Will Madueke go at the World Cup? I mean, it just depends. It depends how he finishes the season. I feel like this is going to be controversial. I feel like Madueke is better than Bukayo Saka. There you go. I said it. Roast me in the chat if you want. I think Madueke is better than Saka. Because Madueke is a solid right winger that can just get the job done. I know this season he's only scored 2 goals, 1 assist. But you got to think, Champions League, he scored 3. Domestic Cups, he scored 2 assists. So in the league, he got 2 goals, 1 assist. FA Cup, he got 2 goals, 2 assists. And he got 3 goals in Champions League. If I was to decide who would go to the World Cup, Saka or Madueke, I'll probably pick Madueke. Because if I had to look at the bench, see the both on the bench, if I had to look at someone to come on the pitch and get me a goal, I'd trust Madueke more. Question here, when you look at Spurs' remaining games, they can't get more than 10 points, can they? I mean, I think they will go down personally. I feel like people get a little bit carried away. They're not going to get any points. They're going to go down easily. They're going to finish bottom. Like, they're going to finish 19th. They're rubbish. They're crap. But when you look, they've got Forest at home. They should be with that's huge for the relegation zone. So really, well, count this. That's 3 points. Sunderland at home. They might be lucky to get a point. We'll count a point there. Brighton at home. They might get a point. There's 4. Wolves away. They might get a point. Because Wolves have been unbelievable, like, this part of the season. I think they'll get a point there. Villa away, they're not getting a point. I think Leeds, they might get 3, to be fair. So that's 8. They're not going to beat Chelsea, and they're not going to beat Everton. So 8 points for their next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 points in 8 games isn't good enough for a team that, well, was competing in the Champions League. And has players like Vicario, Archie Gray, Pedro Porro, Jed Spence, Van de Ven, Christian Romero, Conor Gallagher, Kudus, Polina, Xavi Simons, Bentancur, Kolo Muani, Richarlison, Solanke. You get the point. They're not performing at the level that they should be. And I think the club could be in real shambles if they go down. How much longer will Jordan Pickford be at Everton? I think he'll retire there, to be honest. Came through the Sunderland Academy. He's 32 now. Came through the Sunderland Academy. Went on loan to Darlington. Then to Alfreton. Then to Burton. Then to Carlisle. Then to Bradford. Then Preston. Then in 2017, he got sold at 28 million to Everton. And he spent the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons at Everton. He's 32 now. He can give them a decent couple of years. Everton want to keep him. I think that he'll just retire there. How good actually is Morgan Rogers? That's a tough one to say. Because you've got to think, it was all really around that patch where I did my first watch along actually against Man United at Villa Park. There's that little area where he scored 2 against Leeds, got an assist against Young Boys, got an assist against Brighton, and a couple of games later scored a brace against West Ham, then scored a brace against Man United, and then the goals just sort of stopped. Then they started back up again. He scored against Salzburg, then Bournemouth, got an assist against Newcastle. Then he has had a goal involvement since. He scored 8 goals, 5 assists in 30 games, and people are raving about him, saying that he's one of the best cams in the world. Where will Harry Wilson be next season? I feel like people need to calm down about him a little bit. Harry Wilson. Because, yeah, he plays for Fulham. He's 28 as well. You've got to keep that in mind. It feels like he's been doing crazy stuff all season, but actually, he's scored 9 goals and 6 assists. A lot less than what you actually think he is. Like, a lot less than what you think he's doing. But I think next season, I feel like he'll suit somewhere like Crystal Palace or something. Like, another, like, mid-table team, or someone like Villa. Like a club like Villa would suit him quite well. Okay, Forest at home, loss. Sunderland away, draw. Brighton at home, loss. Wolves away, loss. Villa away, loss. Leeds home, win. Chelsea away, loss. Everton home, win, I think, for Spurs. I would agree with most of it, but I think they'll beat Forest. And I think they'll drop points against Everton. I think they'll draw at the Wolves as well. Does Rodgers start over Bellingham, I think, for the friendlies? Yes. For World Cup? No. Well, I mean, Morgan Rodgers really isn't at the level to be competing at that top level against, like, Spain and stuff, while Bellingham is. I feel like I've always stood by this, that Bellingham's a bit overrated, but he is class as well. It's like, he has been injured for ages. He got injured against Rio Vallecano, been injured for like a couple of months. But I think he'll be back for the friendlies, I'm not 100% sure. But I think Bellingham is plays for both. He's one of the best centre attacking midfielders on the planet. When will Pep leave City? There's rumours that he'll leave at the end of the season, or he'll get sacked at the end of the season. I feel like if anything's going to happen to City with Pep, what's going to happen is he's going to leave. He's not going to get sacked. I mean, people get carried away. They won 5 Premier Leagues in a row and a Champions League. They won a treble when they won the Champions League. What more do you want? Pep came to England, put his style of playing, completely revolutionised the way football's played now. People are saying that he's not good enough just because, like, he's been a bit inconsistent this season. You can't win it. You can't win the league every season. Waiting for the next question. Is Raya the best keeper in the world? I think he's very, very overhated. I think people say he's really bad because of the back line in front of him. We've got to think, clean sheets don't just come from the back line. You've got to have a really good goalkeeper to complete that back line. And it's like, David Raya, he makes some really, really clutch saves. And he can't really fall off with a good shot stopper like that. And he's good at his distribution. He's a good goalkeeper. Here we go, question here. Will Tudor be sacked before the end of the season? I don't think he will. And I think if Tottenham do, that's embarrassing. Because they brought Tudor in to save the season. And they're going to sack him a month later. You've got to trust your manager to get you out. You've appointed him to get you out the relegation zone. Then you're going to go and sack him straight away. It's ridiculous if they do. I don't think he will. But I think people say that he will. Do you like Gary Neville as a pundit? Oh my god, we're getting into pundits now. I hate Gary Neville as a pundit. I feel like Gary Neville just thinks he knows everything when he doesn't. He thinks he's the best. He thinks he knows everything when he doesn't. He's not the best. He doesn't know everything. I think the best pundit has to be Micah Richards for me. He's unbelievable. Or Roy Keane. This season has flown by. Yes, it has. This season has flown by. Feels like it only started about 2 months ago. Adam Wharton is the most overrated player of the season. I feel like he is overrated, but not the most overrated player of the season. It's not like, I think people sort of raved about him because they were like, I think it's more because they were just excited to see new faces in the England team. And they were like, Elliot Anderson is about 20 times better than Adam Wharton. I've watched the overlap. That's the Sky Sports thing, isn't it? Or am I thinking of something different? I've seen that actually. I was Googled there, the overlap. A little debate thing. Like, you can just see from that who the best pundits are. West Ham game was the scene I dream of. You're talking about home or away for Sunderland. Pretty obvious what you're thinking of there. I think, Sunderland return from the return of the Premier League after 8 years away. They go and beat West Ham 3-0 at home. Proves the point. And now they're 11th in the league. Best newly promoted side since 2008. Hull. Is Garnacho good? I think he is. I don't know why people hate on him, to be honest. Because I think he's quite good. I'm probably going to get hated for this. It was like, I know the numbers don't show it, but I feel like he's played well for Chelsea. He scored 1 goal, 4 assists in the league. That 1 goal against Sunderland, where they did get defeated at Stamford Bridge, and the 4 assists coming here and there. He scored in the FA Cup, scored in the Champions League. He got called up for Argentina as well. It's like, I think he's an alright player. Oh, my mate's what's even more special. There's nothing better than bringing your mate out to a footy game, is there? He's good, I just don't like him. Fair enough. Some people say he looks like Michael Jackson. I say the resemblance, to be honest. I can see why you wouldn't like him. But I agree with her. He's good. Not the biggest fan. Got a question here coming in. Are Man U signing? Who are Man U signing? Or a City signing? I think Man U, it'll just go to get even stronger. I think they should appoint Michael Carrick permanently. I think they should get some real quality players in. They should get someone like Elliot Anderson. They need someone like a controller in the midfield. I think that's what they miss in the team. Bruno Fernandes is unbelievable going forward, but you need someone staying back. Casemiro's unbelievable at what he does, and he's really stepped up this season. But he's leaving at the summer, as he's announced. And I think City, they'll just look to assemble a super team. Like sign like Mbappe, you sign like stupid players that'll just win them the league, no doubt. Flop of the season has to be Alexander Isak for me. I don't think there is another answer than Alexander Isak, to be honest. He scored 2 goals, 1 assist for 145 million. Do you play Rocket League? No, I don't. I do play FIFA though, that's kind of hype. Predictions for the EFL Cup. The Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it. I think Arsenal win that 2-1. I think it'll be Saka, and I think it'll be Declan Rice, and Semenyo will score for City. Gerrard, Lampard, or Scholes. Asking these questions, if I'm meant to immediately answer like that, them sort of questions are crazy because like all of them are unbelievable. But for me, I think I've got to go Scholes. Is Ultimate Team or Manager Career better? I mean, I played Manager Career for a lot of the start of the FIFA, and then I've started playing Ultimate Team now before Birthday came out. I think last minute equaliser for Arsenal and Arsenal win on pens. Fair enough. So what do you think the score will be then? Do you think it'll be 1-1, 2-2? If you want to get involved in this debate, feel free to drop it in the chat. 1-1, so 1-0 City. Arsenal managed to salvage an equaliser and the win on pens. Fair enough. Hazard is better than Salah. Correct. I mean, I would like this season definitely. Overall, that's the sort of thing I could divide a friend group, to be honest. Because if you look at Salah's numbers for Liverpool, last season he got 29 goals, 18 assists. Then he got 18 goals, 10 assists, 19 goals, 12 assists, 23 goals, 30. You get the idea. And Hazard, he was unbelievable, but overall, it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to go Mohamed Salah. Nervous for Sunday? I'm assuming you mean the Sun and Newcastle derby. Yes, and I'm going to be honest, bias aside, this could be 3 or 4-0. If Roofs, Mukiele, Ballard, Ronaldo and stuff are out, this could be nasty. Okay, YT Tosti has to leave us now. Great debate in there. But Aston Villa have just scored against Lille in the Europa League playoffs. If there are any questions you have, put it in the chat and you can debate amongst yourselves if you want as well. Do you know what, why don't I ask you a question now? Who do you think will get relegated? Do you think it'll be Wolves, Burnley, and then Wolves and Burnley are almost guaranteed to go down. But it's whether West Ham, Forest, Tottenham, or Leeds go down is the real question. Because that is massive. Who's going to take that final relegation spot? I think it's going to be Tottenham, to be honest. And you don't really see where Tottenham are going to get more than like 8 points. I mean, tomorrow we do have some Friday night football. Bournemouth, Man United. Big game for Man United. They can just solidify themselves in that top 4. If they win that game, then they have 57 points. And they solidify themselves there by a large amount of points. Waiting for some questions to come through here. I will be right back. I'm just going to grab some water. Apologies for that break there. But we are going to have someone from the Lampard, Scholes and Gerrard era coming soon. Because I've had in chat all day Gerrard, Lampard or Scholes. I'm going to get a real answer. Because obviously I didn't actually watch them live. Will Villa finish top 4? That's a brilliant question. I think the way it's going, to be honest, I don't think they will. The way that it's going for Villa so far, they went on like a 15-game unbeaten streak, and they got beat off Arsenal at home. And they've just dropped points all the time, and then if Liverpool win and Villa lose, they go 4th. I mean, the fixtures for Villa they've got West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, Fulham, Tottenham, Burnley, Liverpool and Man City. The final 2 games are difficult, but it could definitely happen. They've got the fixtures to do it. Kevin Phillips or Niall Quinn? So that's a tough one. We might have to come back to that one later, because that is one that takes a lot of thinking. 2. Sunderland club legends. Is United currently better than City? Wirt is actually really good in my opinion. Fair enough. I mean, he started off the season really, really slow. But then over time, he's picked it up a little bit. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists in the league. 1 goal, 1 assist in the FA Cup. In the Champions League, 1 goal, 3 assists. And for Germany, he got 1 goal, 2 assists. So he's warmed up this season. And is United currently better than City? Well, the league table says that City are better. But recently, under Carrick, United just can't seem to stop winning. So, to be honest, I would say United are better than City. Got any more debate questions? Feel free to put in chat. Is Gakpo decent? I assume you try to put there. I think Gakpo isn't that good. I think he's very, very overrated, Gakpo. I feel like the Liverpool fans don't like him either, and they don't like Slot for not starting Ngamo over Gakpo. Sunderland and Newcastle are the best derby in the world. Yes. I mean, there's no derby that is more fierce than that. Because people say Liverpool, Everton. And it's like, it's a big derby, yes. But Sunderland Newcastle just has something extra to it. You know what, let's get in chat. What do you think's the best derby? Like Rangers Celtic's big, Sunderland Newcastle is huge as well. Best pundit. It's a tough one because I feel like all the pundits now are alright, but I think I've got to go Micah Richards or Roy Keane. Roy Keane is up there. He is really funny, like, to be fair. And I know I'm a Sunderland fan, but Alan Shearer is good, like. Because he talks a lot of sense, and there's no bias to what he speaks either. Night game or day game? It has to be night game for me. There's just something extra about a night game, like the atmosphere is just so much better. And it's just so good. Oh, especially when it's raining at night, oh my god. Worst pundit? For me, it's between Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. I think it's even worse for Gary Neville, I think. Because, like, he thinks he's the best. He thinks he knows more than everyone else, when he doesn't. And Jamie Carragher, like, Jamie Carragher just talks nonsense a lot of the time. Like he said, Casemiro leaves football before the football leaves you. We're looking at him a couple of seasons down, looking at him one season down the line. This much better. Is Talby the player we thought we signed? I don't think he is. We signed him as this player to tear up the Premier League. He's already got Champions League experience, wonderful off the right. But then he comes, he's absolutely dreadful. Then he can't even play on the right anyway. We're playing him on the left because he can't play on the right. Here we go. Get some questions going soon. Who'll be player of the season? Gotta be Fernandes for me. I think he's gonna be player of the season, Bruno Fernandes. Any questions for us in chat? Let us know. Who will get relegated? I mean, it's a really tough one. Wolves, Burnley, West Ham. Wolves and Burnley are going down. I mean, West Ham, Forest, Tottenham. It's like one of them will go down. Here we go, question here. Is Elborg actually good? I don't think he is. I think his distribution's awful. And his shot stopping's alright. Will Igor Thiago be at Brentford next season? I don't think he will. I think he'll get snapped up by a bigger club. I think he'll get snapped up by someone like... I can picture him in a Chelsea shirt, to be honest. In my opinion, Rodri's so overrated. I would agree. I feel like... He robbed Vinny off that Ballon d'Or, let's be real here. And it's like, he's just not very good, I'm gonna be honest. If we get Europe, would Ahmad return? Probably not, to be honest. I think Ahmad will just stay at United or go to a bigger club eventually. I don't think he'd come back to Sunderland. João Pedro is so underrated. I would agree. I think he is very, very underrated. But I feel like people have started to get a little bit ahead of themselves, saying how good he is. Because I feel like people think he's just sat in the other, best striker Premier League's ever seen. He's not. He is good, and it's a great signing from Chelsea, to be fair to them. Probably one of their, first good signings in a good while. So it probably feels good to be a Chelsea fan having him. And he is just a good player, I prefer. How much longer will Reggie Debris last at Sunderland? It's tough to say that. Because, he won't get sacked. I can guarantee you he won't get sacked. But I feel like he's just going to get snapped up by a bigger club. People will eventually realise how good he actually is. And people already know how good he is now, to be fair. But when they realise just how good, like, how unbelievably good he is, he'll get snapped up by a bigger club really, really quickly. Brian Brobby would be elite in a 4-4-2 with Wilson. I would agree. I don't know why Labrie doesn't do that. That's like the only thing with Labrie. Sometimes just like he lacks a bit of sense in that thingy. And even if he thinks that shouldn't work, he should at least try it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he seems to just prefer having just one striker. But it's like, you're not getting a goal from the wing, are you, really? Brobby is the strongest player in the league. Fair enough, to be honest. The way he holds off defenders, I feel like referees need to be a bit more better in that sense. It's not like they need to be looking at stuff like that more, because he gets grabbed all the time. Lacroix will join a big club. I think he has to. I think he's one of the most underrated centre-backs in the league. He has to join a big club. Thoughts on Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor? The big two Premier League refs that get paid the most for some reason, even though they are like the worst refs. They're just dreadful, to be honest. And we really saw it in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup when they didn't have VAR and like all the decisions were off. It was just dreadful. It was almost like they didn't know how to referee. It's like, I think, I've said it for a while. I think EFL refs are better than Prem refs. Because Prem refs have VAR to fix the mistakes. EFL don't. Rice is the best box to box in the world. I don't think he is. I think he's really, really, really overrated. If you took him out the Arsenal team, they're not gonna exactly be struggling in there. Like, he's not. I don't think he's actually that good. I feel like people only see he's really good because of them 2 free kicks he scored against Arsenal. I mean, against Liverpool. No, against Real Madrid. There we go. I feel like if he didn't score them, people wouldn't be talking about him near as much. Watkins is bad. I mean, he is bad to be fair. I feel like he just hasn't been performing this season. Like, at all. Zubimendi one of the signings of the summer. I think he's very overrated. I know I'm saying like everyone's overrated, but I just think the way people go on about him, I don't think he actually is that good. People go on as if like, oh, he's the best CDM the Prem's ever seen. Oh my god, he's unbelievable. He's so good. He's this, that, and the other. He's not. He's a bit of a pretender, I think. Yeah, he scored 5 goals, but it's like, come on. Odegaard's terrible. He's alright. I feel like he's overhated. He hasn't really had a chance to do out this season. And this season he hasn't exactly been the best either, to be fair. But that does bring us to the end of this debate. Thanks for joining me in this debate. This is my first one. I hope you like it. We're going to do some more over the next few days, if that would interest you. Well, I'll see you in the next stream or in the next video. And thanks for watching.